right, I think we are live, which I'm very excited about. Let me jam out for you guys a little bit while everybody kind of shows up. What's up, Tom? Thanks for joining, man. Just gonna jam a little bit here, and then I'll get to answering some questions, all right? Try to throw in some of those groups of fives there. All right. Cool. Thanks everybody for joining. So what I'm doing right now is kind of soloing using the method that I teach in the course. Where a lot of times someone would take a backing track like this and they see A at the beginning and they might jam like this just with the A major pentatonic, if they know the major pentatonic. So right here I'll just stick to the A. Like that sounds pretty good. You know, but the way I like to do it is for each of these, I play a different pentatonic scale, right? So I'll do A major pentatonic, E major pentatonic, B minor pentatonic, and D major pentatonic. That's what I'll do right here. So A major. Wait, this B minor, D major, you get a little bit more variety. Makes it a little more melodic, you know? is the end of the backing track. Cool, yeah, and I'll jam on some other backing tracks here. If you have tunes that you're working on or chord progressions that you like and you want to see if I can solo over it using this sort of approach, feel free to put them in the chat and I will see what I can do. I've had people throw in things like songs like Wonderful World, Somewhere Over the Rainbow, where they have a ton of different chords and like, does this approach work? It totally does every time. So yeah, so my name's Neil Santos and I'm on the stream today to tell you about this course I have launching on May 4th. So may the 4th be with you. And it's all about improvising with the pentatonic scale, but doing it in a way that makes it melodic, like melodic pentatonics. Rather than just getting stuck in that one box, this method uses a different scale for each chord. And it's super easy to kind of get into and understand, but it takes a little bit of practice to be able to get it under your fingers. You know what I mean? So let me show you a little bit about the course here. This is the course. It has 8 weeks. Everybody is in the course together. You get to jam with the same people every week. You learn a new progression every week. We show you how to solo over it. You record a video of you playing over it, a backing track. And then at the end of the week, we all get together on a video chat for 2 hours and we talk about them. We say, oh, I love what you were doing there. Or maybe think about doing this next week. And then the next week we do another backing track and they're all designed to kind of scaffold up. Like at first it's easy and then they get more difficult and more difficult. And everybody that's taken the course has told me it's changed their whole look approach and understanding of the neck and the guitar. And that's what it did for me too. So I'm glad to hear that it helped them, And I've had players that do country or blues or jazz. And one guy, a good friend now, Ang, he was in a jazz group and he never was able to solo because, jazz changes are hard and they want you to learn melodic minor and alto dominant and all these crazy scales, right? And it's just a lot to think about. But if you simplify it like this, where it's just a different pentatonic scale for each chord, all of a sudden you can navigate these crazy jazz changes without really thinking about it. You can get that sort of memorization out of your way and you can just play, which is great. And he has been having great luck with it. And it was like a huge aha moment for him, like a big breakthrough. So yeah, so this is behind the scenes of the course. The first week, we kind of just get, start learning all the things that we need to kind of move on and get into the lessons and stuff. And the first week we talk about, pentatonic scale, meter and structure. That's me. Accessing the course materials, blah, blah, blah. Different ways to find the notes on the E string, the A string, so you can place your pentatonics and your chords. And I have all sorts of cool, I'll show you, different interactive quizzes that I've put together. There's lots of graphics. I'm a graphic designer, so I like to do things like that to help, whatever I can think of to help the students learn quicker and get it into their head. So I built all these sort of quizzes. What string is that? I bet you guys already know. That's the A string. This is the D string. So we'll just go through this super quick, but yeah, low E, G, D, G. I'm getting tricky there. I'm asking you the same ones multiple times. All right, and then low E. Yay. So anyway, that's just one of many sort of quizzes I have throughout the book. The whole thing. There's lots of interactive stuff like this. And this is just before we even get into learning the process, learning the method to do it. Just kind of visualize, one octave on each of the strings and stuff. And then we learn about the 3 major chord voicings and 3 minor chord voicings that we use in the course. So say you were playing in G. So you have a G major here, right? Then you have a G major here. Then you have a G major here. Now there's a couple more around there, but those are like the main three that everybody kind of uses. You have this one, you have this one, that's pretty popular. This one might be a little weird, might not know it. But then what we do is we take the pentatonic scales and we match them up to those chords. And the same with minor. You have a G minor, you have a G minor here, a G minor here. That way, you already kind of know how to play those chords. And if you already had, if you have pentatonic scales attached to them, then you know you got your, G minor here, then you have a G minor here, and G minor here. And then the chord changes, so you're able to switch scales as quickly and easily as you're switching chords. Hold on, let me see, I got a message here. Cool. Oh, shoot. I'm talking about all these interactive things and you're not even able to see them. Sorry about that. So here's some of those things, like interactive graphics. I'm glad my wife contacted me. She's like, I can't see your screen. So let's check this out again. This is that quiz that I took. Hold on one sec. Let me find another one here. So you can get an idea of like the stuff that's included in the course. So this will ask you how to, identify the notes on the A string. All right. So what note is that? C. Then you got A, E, A. So you get an idea of what you do. Make sure you understand it. So that way, when we're moving the pentatonics around and stuff like that, I know that you know where the notes are. And then it goes into the rest of the notes on the neck and stuff. Cool. Once we get through all that and you learn like the 5 shapes of the pentatonics, it's pretty cool, interactive here. Then we get into playing and stuff like that, but it kind of just builds up to it. I'm not going to throw you into the, lion's den right away. Things like this where you can see like, oh, there's the pentatonics on the neck and then it splits out and you have the 5, just showing how they all kind of fit together like puzzle pieces. And then we get into week 1. And this is where at the end of this week, we have our first meeting. You introduce yourself here. We have weekly coaching. And then every week has a downloadable worksheet. So if you want to step away from your computer and check this stuff out, you can, So there's like the 5 shapes, the 6 chords, and how they go together, stuff like that. And yeah, let me see, what else have we got here? You got your bonus copy of my book that I wrote, The Guitar Simplified. So that's a bonus with the course. You get that. And there's all sorts of cool stuff in there, from soup to nuts about the guitar, from holding the guitar to like quartal chords and 7th chords and all that stuff. And then we get into it, right? So you have talking about the pentatonic as a minor scale, talking about it as a major scale here, stuff like that, which is, important. Every video, every lesson has a video. Get your A major pentatonics. It shows you where the roots are if you're using it as A major. You can always leave comments below. Here's some comments from past students. That's all in there too. So you can read that and get better insight into the lesson. Because if someone asks a question, it's sure that someone else is thinking it too, right? So I always leave those in there. And yeah, let me see. Then week 2, we start jamming. So we learn how to jam. We're using shape 1 over a minor chord. Each week after this has an overview lesson that tell you what we're going to learn that week and show you the scales we're learning. And, we learn the pentatonic scales, but we also learn how if you combine these 2 pentatonic scales, you get the Dorian mode and stuff. So we're kind of relating it to the modes, relating it to the 7-note scale. So you're not really restricted to the pentatonic scale, though I mainly use the pentatonic scale for like 80% of what I do. So if I'm using A minor pentatonic and then the B minor pentatonic, that, but then you can still do all that sort of shreddy stuff in between, so do like 80% pentatonics, 20% fancy shreddy stuff, if that's what you're into. And then we go into, I recorded all of these in a studio, the main lessons, talking about the chords for this week's lesson, and then the scales for this week's lesson, and I demonstrate that. See if I can like zoom in. You can just see a little bit of this real quick. Perhaps. Again, there we go. And on the E string, you're going to play the 5th fret. All professionally recorded and stuff like that. All right, so 5, 8, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 8. So I go through it really slowly, but none of these videos are too overwhelming. Here's a cool little graphic that we do at the beginning of the courses when we first start checking these out. So you see here's the chord, and then you can slide the shape. See how it just slides right over the chord like that. So there's a primary shape and a secondary shape. In this course, we really just focus on the primary shape, the shapes that fit right over those chords, And then, let me see, you have a little quiz. You place the shape on the chord in different places. Then I do a little demonstration each week of how it could sound if you use this approach, So I jam through the backing track, and I record a little demonstration. And then every week, not only do we jam on stuff, but I also have a couple of like technique lessons, what you can do with the pentatonic scale. So we're learning how to use the pentatonic scale over different chords, but then like, what do you do with it? So in this case, we're looking at different motifs in the pentatonic scale, So if you were doing like the A minor to the B minor, you could have a motif as simple as like that, something like that, really simple. Or you can find chord voicings in those pentatonics. And those are all A minor, if you have it over A minor bass. Stuff like that. And later on, we do the Chuck Berry licks. We do like shreddy, sort of cool pentatonic licks, blues licks. We talk about practicing your bends, making sure you're in tune. Talk about sliding. We get into all that stuff. This is cool. Jesse liked it, so I appreciate that. And then, here's the bending notes and a Chuck Berry lick. I gave you a couple right up front here to kind of get your fingers moving. Then after that, it's your turn to jam, right? So I was saying we have backing tracks, and then you record yourself jamming over it, and we upload them. I'll show you where that goes. But yeah, and I recorded original backing tracks for each of these. So we have a rock one, a funk one, a laid back one. And then each of these are guided backing tracks. So you're not kind of guessing, where should I be playing right now? You know what I mean? So you're jamming on this scale, and then this thing moves. So now you know that's where you're supposed to jam. Stuff like that. So I had a lot of fun recording these backing tracks, busting out my bass back there and doing some bass lines to the funk. So every week has that. And then there's a quiz. Because what I've came to find, and as I was going through teaching this the first time, the main thing about this is matching up those chord shapes with the pentatonics. Like if you can start getting that in your head, once you're done with the chorus and stuff, any chord progression is going to be like a playground for you, you know. So you learn a new chord progression or something, then you know all the scales to jam on it. So now you're not just strumming chords. Now that becomes, you know, a place to jam. You know, so now, you know, every time you play and pick up the guitar, you're getting better because you're just exploring how the chord progressions and the pentatonics work, and just like you're all over the neck. It releases you, it frees you up. So I built these sort of quizzes, and it says, all right, here's what pentatonic shape goes with this. So I know the second shape goes with that one. And this one, that's the fifth shape. You know, and you will know this too. And I put a little hint thing in here too. So not to make it too difficult on you, you can pull this up and be like, all right, where's this shape? And it's major. All right, so it's going to be the fourth shape. So you go like this, close that, find the fourth shape, boom. You know, in doing that, you just kind of you know, solidifying that knowledge in your head. All right, so the next is you go and you record yourself. So you pick one of those backing tracks, click here, and you go to Flipgrid. It's not going to let me in because I'm not under the right account. Hold on one second. All right, here we are. So that was module 1, I think. Yeah. You see, everybody just came in here, recorded their takes. I record a couple takes too, kind of like more, demonstrate a bit more like how it works. And it's super easy to do this. You don't have to like record it right away. What I suggest a lot of people do is record it on your phone, record it till you get the right take, the take that you're like, this is it, this sounds great. Then you can go and upload it, either through your phone. They have a phone app, or you can do it on the desktop. So that way you're not like recording a take and be like, I messed up, and have to re-record it on Flipgrid. You can do it separate and then upload it. So, so this is A major. I usually start simple so as not to freak anyone out, and then later try to get more fancy with it. But that's the idea, you know. And then at the end of the week, we go back and we say, all right, let's check these out. So we sit here and everybody goes in the hot seat if they want to. If they don't, that's fine too. And we look at the different takes, and I say, that was great. You know, like, I like what you did here. Maybe think of doing some of this, or try a motif. Or, you know, if someone's having trouble, say, all right, why don't you just take 2 strings and see what you can do with 2 strings. And you don't have to worry about all 6 or whatever. Just different ways to help move people along, get them unstuck, you know. And then after that, we got our weekly coaching session. So it's usually on the weekend. Can be a weekend morning. This upcoming course, I'm thinking of doing Saturdays, early morning, like 8 to 10. So, you know, we'll see. But I always take a consensus once we're about to start the course from everybody that's in it, because we've had people out west, and we have people in the UK last time. So it's like all these different time zones, and I'm stuck in the middle. And we just try to find a time that works for everybody. And we always record these, and you get, at the end of the course, you can see there's all the weekly coaching sessions recorded and there forever. So you always have access to all of this stuff forever, which is great. And you can always reach out through here and ask me questions down the line if you're you know, working on this stuff and like, I'm working on this chord progression. How do I do it? What would you suggest? And then here, everyone, like I said, has a weekly, you know, a backing track, a worksheet, and shows you the scales, shows how they add up to a different, you know, the mode. Then you have all your backing tracks here. You can scan this QR code with your phone if you want and play the backing track on there to practice. You know, print this out and you can travel with all your week's knowledge, right there. Excuse me one sec. And I'm always taking feedback from students. Like this was the first week and I made these 3 tracks and I thought they were cool. But apparently through feedback from the site, they were a little quick, like things switched kind of fast. And so before the week was done, I made this laid back backing track that's more slow, same chord progression. And it's just a slower version, able to like switch a little easier for people that aren't used to it and stuff. So that's the type of stuff that I can do because it's just me building all this stuff. So I get feedback. I don't have to go have a consensus with like a big corporation. Be like, what do we do? I don't know. We should move quickly on this, blah, blah, blah. I can just do it, which is cool. All right, see how we're doing. My business partner, AKA my wife, mentioned that I should show you one of the other cool parts of this course, which is the community, right? So that's 1 week of the course right there. And then it goes into the next week. So every week has an overview, the chords lesson, scale lesson, a demonstration, like a technique or a style sort of lesson, and then a bunch of backing tracks for you to jam on, a quiz to kind of solidify your knowledge, and then you record the flip grid, you record your submission, you do the weekly coaching, and you have a worksheet that you can keep, print out, do whatever with, that has all your backing tracks right on it and stuff. So that's like an overview of one of the 8 weeks courses. And before I get to the community, I just want to show you. So we take a look at shape 1 as minor, and then we look for major chords. We got shape 2 here. Then we look at another major chord, shape 5. This one we start mixing up the shapes. We got shape 2 and shape 4, and I'm talking about the pentatonic shapes. Looking at cross string fourths. That's a cool sequence that you can do across the strings. A Jimmy Page lick. Looking at shapes 2 and 5. So we do a lot of major pentatonic progressions because what I found was a lot of people are used to the blues. They're used to, hey, here's my pentatonic, you know. They can just jam blues all day. But then you put them in a major pentatonic situation and then all their blues licks, all the stuff they know is kind of like out the window. And you have to start filling up your other bag of tricks. Like there's your bag of tricks for the minor, and then you get your bag of tricks for the major and stuff like that. So then we get into, a 1, 4, 5 progression is what we've been building up to, because the 1, the 4, and the 5 chords are like 80% of music, so you should be able to, I want to make sure you can jam over that stuff by the time you leave the course, or at least understand how to do it. So you can keep going and practicing it, and you'll be able to jam on that stuff. Let me see. Then non-diatonic progressions, because not everything falls within the do, re, mi scale, Like you have weird progressions where you have like maybe a major 3, How do you do that? You can't do that with the major scale. So with this method, you just say, all right, that's A major, and then this is, C sharp major. It's hard without a backing track to hear it, but that's the idea. And then beyond the course, you get 6 bonus lessons that are more like advanced bonus lessons by the time you finish, but I don't give them to you after you go through everything, because they're kind of intense. And then you can continue the journey. We have a membership after if you want to. It's very affordable, but we keep meeting weekly. So some of the people from this course went on and stayed in there, and we have other backing tracks. We keep going with that. And you have all your replays here of the group chats and the group coaching that we had. So let me show you another cool part of it is just basically the community part of the course, where you can post stuff. This is where you can interact. I posted this today because I was talking to the guys last night about Eric Gales, and they really hadn't heard of him too much. and he's one of my favorites right now. Between him and Julian Lage, I've been really digging their playing. So I can post that in here. And then we had our group coaching last night, so I record that and I post that in here, which is cool. And you can organize, by topic here, so you see all the group coaching sessions that we've been doing. Chat about gear and rigs. Just another place to connect outside of the course. And everybody that has been taking the course has just been amazing. Like it's always the right people show up. So, and I know that's going to happen this time too. We're going to need another crew of just amazing people that are all on the same journey together. Everybody's very supportive, and that's the kind of the culture and the vibe we have going on here. So pretty cool. You can do videos of you jamming. If it's like stuff outside of the course, post stuff of you jamming in here. Little Huey Lewis in the News action that Jesse posted the other day was awesome. Yeah. So let me see. I am going to jam a little bit more, I think. That's the whole course. I'm going to give you a second while I jam. You can put some questions in the comment bin. And yeah, I'd be happy to answer any question that you may have. But let's see. What's a good one to jam to?
They say post it.
We can all watch this commercial together, which is fun.
But out here.
All right, here we go. Lo-fi jazz jam. Hold on, let me pick something a little more, I don't know, Fruits of Funk. Let's do that. I like backing tracks that show you the chords. It's easy. So G7 to D minor. Something a little more upbeat. That other track I had earlier was good. If you have any backing tracks that you like, put them in the chat there and I'll jam on them. Ooh, heavy hard rock metal jam. All right, let's see. I bet coffee for this one. All right. I'll tell you what shape I'm using for the pentatonic as I go across. So you got C and G, fourth shape, third shape, oh wait, sorry, first shape, fourth shape, third shape, first shape, second shape, fourth shape. Pretty cool. It's hard to call out which ones I'm using. Clean guitar, soft.
The only bag.
All right, maybe I'll be able to talk over this one while I'm playing.
Ziploc, unlock life.
Do you guys like Ziploc?
Introducing the new Cantina Chicken Crispy Taco, only at Taco Bell.
All right, here we go. Gonna. All right, this is a good one. D minor, F, C, and then B flat. Chord shape also works over F. First shape for C. Second shape. But then you can move all around the neck if you know it. Like some, you know, back before I used to do this, I would just play the whole thing in D minor. So that would sound like this. But it sounds kind of boring after a while. And if you took the backing track away, you wouldn't know what I was doing. You know, you'd be like, I don't know what progression that is. So now I'll do it with, I'll switch shapes again. Here we go. All pentatonics. Pretty cool. But then you can still do your shredding or whatever. But then, you know, the hardest part of doing shreddy stuff is the note you land on afterwards. Like you can just do whatever here. Just like throwing the fingers around. But you want to land on a note, not like some weird note. You want to land on a note that is related to the chord of the moment. Like B flat. So that's what I want for you to be able to. That's my goal, is for you to be free around the neck. You know, like you're like, all right, I'm in D minor. So I want you to be able to say, all right, D minor's here, you know, it's third shape, move up to the fourth shape, and fifth shape. F major, it's the same scale because they're related. And then you're like, oh, C major? All right, that's the third shape right here. And then B flat. Stuff like that. Let me just check, see what time it is. So I'm not sure if you guys have any questions. I don't see any coming through. You can always reach out to me through, Neil at the Pentatonic Way. See if I can put that in the chat. Oh, thanks, Tom. I agree. So if you can read Tom's comment on YouTube, said targeting those chord changes makes a huge difference. Very melodic, and it totally does. And it's always usually just one note that changes from scale to scale. Like this one, for example. Here, oops, you can't see the B flat. Let me just scooch that over. All right. Well, I should make me big so you can see my fingers and make this a little bit smaller. There we go. Technical difficulties. Here we go. So for D minor, like I was saying, you have your D minor pentatonic, right? This is maybe the one you guys know the most. Then F, it's the same scale, because every pentatonic shape has two sides, your major side and your minor side. And here's F here. So that's why that works together. Now C major, instead of doing the first shape here, you do the third shape. But all that really matters or moves is this note. So you have that note and all its like octaves. So if you're doing D, F, then C, just throwing that one note in. Once you do it, your ear goes, oh yeah, that's the note that changes. And it creates different licks, And then what do you got? B flat. So the difference between that's the fourth shape there. The difference between that and the first shape are just that note moves up. So if you kind of hit that, target it, when you hit the B flat, and then when you go back to the D, try to land on that note. So you get used to seeing like where the notes move, and you go, all right, that's my target note. And you can kind of dance over there with your fingers, you know what I mean? So if I'm going from the B you know what I mean? So you do all this stuff, and you just try to hit that right on the downbeat. And that's what, is a good goal at first to kind of get used to this. Then after a while, maybe you don't want to be as heavy-handed with it. You can be more subtle with it and don't hit it right on the downbeat, but then throw it in after, and it would be like, oh, all right. It's less obvious and more subtle, It's hard for me to do that without the backing track, but yeah, pretty cool. Let's check out another lick. Ooh, Little Wing. All right, this is a ton of chords. Let me see if I can do this. So the first two chords are the same scale, E minor.
Unlock incredible deals and explore the best
Then it goes to A minor, and back to E.
Everything in between.
Skip. You guys shop to Sweetwater? I do. All right, so we got the intro. So everything he's doing here is all pentatonics. He's doing what I'm talking about. All right. That's true. It is a master class, Tom says, in switching scales over each chord. I mean, there's so many. Like, but for the E minor, you get the first shape here. G, you get the first shape again. And this is just in this one area. A minor, go to the fourth shape, and then back to the first shape for E. Now B minor, you get the third shape. But then you get the B flat and the A, which is kind of cool. So you get that. You could do something like just keep moving that shape down, half step, and then A minor is the same as C. You can use that same one. The G, go back to that first shape. F is the second shape. Then fourth shape here with the C. And then D, that's a third shape. So like the third shape has this note on the 14th fret, and then you go back to the E, you can just slam on that minor third there, which is only one shape. So that's like seeing the target note and going, and then, planning your phrase or your licks kind of around it. And what you can do, this isn't just for soloing, right? Like, so you have E minor. If I was playing melody, rhythm for somebody, it'd be like, And all he's doing is that same, just playing the pentatonics, but letting them ring out rather than one note at a time. He's doing this sort of something like that. So yeah, we have like 8 minutes left. Like I said, I put my email in the chat. I'll put a link to the course. So yeah, my website is pentatonicway.com. I've been at this a long time, and I finally got the course the way I like it. I've been teaching the same stuff for like the better part of a decade. So there's 3 to sign up. If you use the coupon code #PWImprovJam, you can get $50 off. And that works on the payment plan too. If you think about it, if you took a month of lessons at a half-hour lessons, that'd be $100. 4 half-hour lessons. In this case, you're getting 16 hours of individual coaching. You're getting worksheets. You're getting backing tracks. You're getting all sorts of cool stuff. Personal feedback, recordings of all your lessons. Like, you don't get recordings of your half-hour lessons with a teacher, stuff like that. And a teacher that cares. I want you guys to succeed. So I put the link in the chat. Here is the coupon code if you'd like to get $50 off. If you're not sure if this is for you, if you're still like, I don't know if I'm right for it, go right down here and you can book like a 15-minute chat. We'll chat together. I'll see where you're at. And if I feel like you're not where you need to be, I'll let you know. Most likely you are. Like I'm saying, if you can just play chords, if you can play along to random chord progressions, you're good to go. This is the next step, just learning how to apply pentatonic scales to that, rather than, people like go from there to learning one pentatonic scale and like, okay, got the pentatonics, good with that. I got to learn all these other. You learn the major scales, you learn the modes, you learn harmonic minor, melodic minor, all the modes of that, Lydian flat 7, whatever, whole tone scales, diminished. It's too much, man. So this is a very simple and elegant way to kind of understand the neck. And I hope that you guys want to do this. I really feel like it will change your playing forever. You will then just become the player you wanted to be. It will open up the neck for you. I hope you reach out if you're in doubt. And I'd love to chat with you about it and just talk about your guitar goals and stuff like that. So I will play a little bit more, I guess, to see, if anybody else has any questions. Here's an A minor jam, Pink Floyd.
Find somewhere.
But yeah,
the
thanks for
internet's
joining
never
me,
been.
everybody. I think I'm going to do another one of
With a
these
family of
later in the week,
Broncos
maybe
designed to
Thursday
get you there.
or Wednesday,
Jeep
maybe
owners,
tomorrow
join the Bronco
or
family
Friday.
today and
I
get
don't know,
$1,000
but it'll be
bonus
on
cash
Facebook
only
and
after you win.
Instagram. So if you want, you can join me there. I just want to thank you all again for joining me today. We're having this 8-week course starts May 4th. And then there'll be another one much later in the year, in the fall, and take the summer off, spend with my kids, play some shows around here. And I hope you guys have a good summer too. But yeah, May 4th, How to Solo Over Everything. It is the course I wish I had when I was first playing guitar. 5 minutes a day, little 5-minute breaks. I'm not asking you to practice a ton. It's like we're just going to say, all right, these 2 chords, these 2 scales. Every time you pick up the guitar for 5 minutes, just kind of jam on that. Don't even need a backing track. Be like, all right, here's the scale. You know, you'll have something to work on every week. You just focus on it rather than practicing this and practicing that and having all these things, all these videos and options for knowledge. Oh, you should be practicing this, or you should be practicing that, or learn this lick or learn that lick. Learning licks is cool to learn technique, but you know, like it's like learning a monologue, I think, from a comedian or something, and then going to try to have a conversation with it. Like these pre-arranged words and pre-arranged notes, you know, aren't going to fit in the conversation that's happening at the moment. You know, so this stuff will teach you how to create phrases and create those cool licks in the moment, you know, and give a sense of freedom and play and exploration rather than like, all right, I have to play this lick that I've been practicing like, you know, over and over, you know, like, and just hoping that the moment arises when that lick will come in handy, you know? So it's kind of like the method that all your favorite players use to create those licks. And as you're playing, you'd be like, oh, there's that lick, that Jimmy Page lick. Oh, there's that Hendrix lick. There's that, you know, whatever, you know, jazz lick, Julian Lage lick. You'll start to hear all these players in a different way because you will be training your brain in the pentatonic way or whatever. So I should stop there. I ran into like a good branding, the pentatonic way. So, yep, there it is. You have 3 days left. I would love it if you use that coupon code and get a little bit money off. And, you know, part of the reason it costs that much is because of the value is there. There's so much value in this course. You have it forever. Plus, you have skin in the game. If I charge $20 for it, you wouldn't do it. You know what I mean? Like after the fourth week, you'd be like, all right, whatever. You know, because life gets in the way. But this way, it's like you have some money invested. You're going to do it. You're starting to get to know the people on the journey with you, which is so great. That makes you show up every week and you want to do it. It's a good combination of all the things that motivate. The method is easy and effective. And yeah, all right. I'm just jibber jabbering now. I really do appreciate you guys joining me today. And I'm going to sign off for now. But feel free to reach out to me, Neil at Pentatonic Way, or through the contact on the site. And yeah, keep on picking. Have a great Tuesday, everybody. All right. Bye-bye.